5 of my foals this year ended up being keepers. So let's talk about what that means and my reasoning for keeping each of them. First up is Benedict. So Benedict is by my stallion BS code red. He is a colt and he is out of the fantastic, amazing show mare Waffle House. Benedict is a unique case because I knew I was going to keep him from the get-go. Regardless of what he looked like, he was expensive, and so I knew, excuse me, sir, because he had a higher price tag as an embryo and I needed to be able to at least try to make my money back on him, I knew I was going to keep him until at least 2. And I did purchase him as an embryo with the hopes that he was either going to be a stallion prospect or a fantastic filly that would then turn into a mare to be a part of my breeding program. So with the fact that he is his mama's first baby ever, and she is arguably one of the most successful Western pleasure horses in the last decade. And now he's gonna hide. But having her crossed with my stud and showing that off and using social media to promote that cross was really important to me. And then now my hopes are that Benedict gives us all the reasons to allow him to keep his testicles and hopefully be a stallion prospect. So Benedict, number 1, stallion prospect and too expensive to sell, essentially. Number 2 is Woody. He is also by my stallion BS code red, but he's out of my thoroughbred mare. And so I find Woody to be a fantastic opportunity to not only have a really cool show horse in the future, but also to showcase what your thoroughbred mare could potentially look like crossed with my stallion BS code red. So while yes, I love indie babies and I would want to keep one for the sake of keeping them just to have them as a show horse, he's also an amazing marketing strategy to watch him grow up, watch his talents, and watch what, a big leggy thoroughbred mare crossed with my 16-hand Western pleasure horse can look like, because that's not something that's necessarily I wouldn't say it's uncommon, but it's not the mainstream. So even though Woody is going to be gelded most likely, it does make sense for me to keep him to show off that specific cross. We get to watch him grow up and showcase what my stud and a thoroughbred mare can do. And also, I just really want to make sure that my babies from Indy specifically make it to show homes and are put on the right track, because she's an older mare. So I don't know, she might have one more baby, but I am going to pull some embryos hopefully through ICSI. And so it's important to me that because she has another colt that is on the stallion track, and because I just want to prove her as a mare more, that I kind of hold on to her babies and ensure that they get to the right spots, and make it to the show pen. Number 3 is Gunner, who is my very first baby by my stallion First Things First. Now, previously, before the end of this foaling season, I had very different plans. I had very different keepers in mind. And Gunner, if he had come out a boy, was most likely going to be on the sell list. But because we ended up having tragedies and lost the Denver baby that I was planning on keeping, it was important to me to keep the first baby that Denver put on the ground for me to be able to watch him grow up. And, it's marketing. I hate that people are probably going to twist that and make it sound cold or like it's only for the money, but I believe in my young stallion and I want to showcase his offspring, and this is the only offspring that I currently have. But it does just so happen that he's from a very special mare that I also raised, so I think he's pretty dang beautiful and amazing, and I can't wait to watch him grow up. But I'd be lying if I didn't say I hope he makes you want to breed your mare to Denver, and I hope he makes you want to breed your thoroughbred mare to Wayland. Also, the size difference still kills me. Gunner is a little bit younger than Woody, but it's just crazy. You're just too kissable. Mwah. Okay, off to the girls. So remember the plan that I told you about? Well, both of these girls were on the sale list before they were born. Look at Gunner looking at that cat. Isn't that the cutest thing you've ever seen? So in a breeding program, if you have multiple foals, generally you're gonna go into foaling season being like, this is one that I want to keep. These are ones that I think are going to be maybe easier to sell that can pay for the foaling season, because it is a business. And so that was how I kind of viewed Margot and Cheyenne, who you're going to see next. So with Margot specifically, she is out of my mare Kennedy and by Machine Made. I already have a yearling of that same cross. So in my opinion, I didn't really need to keep another one. And to this day, if I wanted to sell Margot, I could sell her in 5 minutes, okay? The amount of people that want her is crazy. But I cannot allow myself to do that because, literally next door is her mama, Maggie, who fought so hard to bring her into this world with her 2 colic surgeries and almost dying. And so to me, this baby, not even just the cost, because she did cost a lot to get here alive. Emotionally, I have to keep her at least through starting her. So like at least through her 2-year-old year to get her going and making sure she makes it to the show pen and we get to see her grow up at least that much. And last but not least, Miss Cheyenne, again, it was a little bit emotional, but yet a little bit strategic. So Cheyenne was born like the day after we lost Happy's foal. It was the week after Margot had come into the world in such a dramatic and like emotionally distressing way. And I honestly just like, Phoebe had this baby so easily, so beautifully. She was so perfect. I was like, I can't, like, at this point, I'm so emotionally drained. I have to keep this baby. Like, she's a saving grace in a way. But also she's the only full sibling to my young stallion Denver in existence. And so it is very important to me that she be put on the right track, make it to the show pen, make it to like the training that she needs to make it to. And so kind of the same thing, like she had been on the sale list because I was like, I think this will be a quote unquote like easy sell to pay for a foaling season, which she is. Like same thing with Margot. I could sell both of these girls in 5 seconds if I wanted to, but sometimes emotions do have to override like logic. And she is so amazing. And without a doubt, I could absolutely find her the right person to purchase her and make it to the show pen. But I think we deserve to watch her grow up at least till she's 2-ish. And so that's how I went from wanting to keep 2, maybe 3, to keeping 5. So yes, it's a business and I make business decisions, but sometimes you got to do what keeps your heart in it and what keeps your soul tied to the ground. And keeping these last 2 was necessary, I promise. And whenever I say keeper, I mean usually keeping them throughout the year that they're born, and then we reevaluate every year from there. So I hope that made sense. Let me know if you have any questions, and stay tuned for more updates on these keeper babies.